Have you ever stopped to think about what's really going on inside your phone when you're not looking? Well, there's this fascinating trend online that imagines just that, a whole secret world where your apps actually come to life. Let's dive in and explore these digital souls.
So, we're going to jump into a world that's built on a really simple but kind of brilliant idea, one that's been going viral in these awesome animated shorts. It's the concept that all the apps we use every single day aren't just lines of code. Nope, they're characters with their own lives.
And this is the central hook, right? Just imagine it. What if your apps had feelings? What if they got into arguments, had their own anxieties, just like we do? Can you picture WhatsApp getting into a full-on shouting match with Instagram? Or all of them collectively freaking out when the battery hits 1%? Yeah, that's the world we're diving into.
So let's actually give this concept a name: digital souls. It's the core idea that gives these animations all their charm, this belief that our software has a soul, with all the drama and all the personality that comes right along with it.
Okay, so if there's all this drama, who are the main characters? Who are the stars of this digital soap opera? Well, it usually boils down to a classic rivalry between two of the biggest names you've got on your home screen. The main conflict, more often than not, is between WhatsApp and Instagram. WhatsApp's whole case is based on pure necessity. It's like, I'm the most important app because people need me to talk to each other. But then you have Instagram, which argues its superiority through culture and influence. It's not trying to be the most important, it just wants to be the coolest.
And this line just perfectly captures Instagram's personality. It totally sees itself as the trendsetter, the absolute star of the show. It's all about style and, maybe just a little bit of arrogance. This is exactly the voice and the attitude that the creators are going for.
But how in the world do you give a software icon a personality? It's not just about the words they say. The real secret, believe it or not, is in the sound design, and it gets surprisingly technical.
It's honestly fascinating how specific the creators get with this. They use text-to-speech engines to dial in the exact settings for each character. So, for example, YouTube gets an energetic voice with a higher pitch and faster speed to show excitement, while the system robot has that classic, flat electronic tone. Every single voice is meticulously engineered.
And you can really see the difference in their audio profiles here. Instagram's voice is pitched up a whole 8% to get that cool, young vibe. YouTube is also energetic, up about 5%, but then you look at the camera app. Its voice is actually pitched down a little, which gives it a more serious, almost strict kind of tone. It's such a simple tweak, but it completely changes the character.
Okay, so you've got the characters and you've got their custom voices. Now you need a story. And the narrative structure behind these viral hits is, well, it's classic, it's simple, and it's incredibly effective. It almost always follows this classic four-step arc. You start with a conflict, then an external crisis hits, which leads to a big moment of realization, and it all wraps up with friendship. Let's break down how each of these steps plays out.
First up, the conflict. And it gets heated, it's personal, and it's super relatable. The apps bicker just like people do, throwing insults back and forth, each one totally convinced of their own superiority. This is the drama that hooks you right from the start.
And then the crisis hits. And it's almost always this, the single most terrifying number for any smartphone user. And as it turns out, for the apps themselves. This number changes everything.
And this one thing just triggers absolute panic. All those little personal squabbles are instantly forgotten. Their very existence is threatened, and now they're forced to face a common enemy. The focus shifts immediately from fighting each other to just survival.
And this is what leads to those final steps: realization and friendship. The crisis forces them to understand that they aren't really rivals. They're all just parts of a single ecosystem. They realize they have to cooperate for the phone and for themselves to even function.
So we've looked at the characters, the voice tech, and the plot. But why does this formula work so well? Why do these animations get millions and millions of views?
Well, it really just boils down to a few key things. First, human personification. Our brains are just wired to see faces and intentions in everything, so giving an ad pride or panic makes them instantly familiar to us. Second, the problems are incredibly relatable. I mean, who hasn't felt that low battery anxiety? Third, the plots are simple but they're dramatic, which is perfect for a short video. And finally, it's all wrapped up in this chaotic, high-energy animation style that is perfect for grabbing your attention online. And that is the secret life of your apps. It's a really fun and surprisingly deep look at our relationship with our own technology. So the next time you plug your phone in at 1%,
Just imagine the huge collective sigh of relief from all the little digital souls inside. It really makes you wonder, what are they arguing about on your phone right now?